Hello. Today I'm going to make chicken noodle soup, and I'm going to blabber on about my relationship to creativity. It's also my first time making chicken noodle soup, which seems like a really basic thing, but growing up we always made like Cantonese soups. So it was like winter melon, pork rind soup, or like 5 ingredient like herbal medicinal soup. And I also just happen to have a lot of ingredients from a potluck I threw this weekend, so yeah, this is what we're doing. I also just was running out of time and I wanted to make a vlog, but I didn't want to like not make my chicken noodle soup, so it was a perfect combination. And that's actually a pretty solid segue into what I want to talk about today, which is my relationship to creativity. And I think, yeah, there's a few things here. The first is probably like, there's this article I really like called Productivity for Special Snowflakes. It's in the blog Ribbon Farm, which is one of my favorite blogs ever. And I believe it's written by Tiago Fort. He talks about this way of lining up your parts. So, you know, the part of you that is really social, the part of you that like can really focus and like likes to build things, the part of you that is like kind of bitsy but also good at loose association. Like, what are all these things that you can ways that you show up in the world throughout the day? And then you have like your list of tasks, things like I want to do some research on community structures, or I want to design something for my friend, or I want to watch One Piece, or I want to go climbing. Like all of these things that I could be doing with my day. I want to like debug my other app, whatever. Like all of these have a part that actually lines up really well with however you are in the moment, including being like, I'm tired and I want to nap. Like napping and sleeping, resting is one of the things that you should probably be doing throughout your day. So I think that the way, sometimes people will say that I like do a lot throughout the day, and it's true, but I think it's because it feels like I'm just going from, it's just a good, like, it happens that whatever mode I'm showing up in the moment has like a task or a ideal like project that it could be taking on at the time. So if I'm feeling like social, like even just like hosting a party is somewhat productive. And so it actually never feels like I'm doing something that I don't want to be doing. There is enough tasks to go around that like cover anything. And so what happens, interestingly enough, is I will procrastinate doing the next thing. Like let's say I like don't feel like, because I don't feel like doing my taxes, I will procrastinate by playing piano. And playing piano is actually something that I would procrastinate doing by like, I don't know, like building my app instead, or I like am procrastinating working on my film by cleaning my room. And it happens that all the procrastinations just like line up really well in a way that makes it effortless for me to do a lot of things throughout the day. What else? I think another thing about creativity for me is that it feels like creation, or my like creative projects, my curiosity is like this course like running through me, and it's just like in my blood, where if I don't make things, there's like a period in my early 20s when I like was going through a lot of like life, pretty intense like life situations, and because of that I didn't like do anything creative, and it felt to me like I was actually not doing anything with my life, even though I like changed careers, like moved, helped my, like there was like a lot of stuff going on, and still I was like felt so blocked and stuck in my like my life force or energy, and like I don't really like carrots. 1 second. And when I don't have creative projects, I feel like I'm not breathing enough. There's not enough oxygen, or it feels like I'm blocked, like there's like a dam. And so when I create things, even if it's not necessarily perfect, it feels like necessary. And if I don't create, then I'm not actively like Kurt Vonnegut has a really lovely letter about how like you should create things not for getting famous, or you know, but for the purpose of like nurturing your soul and becoming human. And what's nice about like creating is you just naturally also develop your taste. Like you get a sense, like you have to make so many little decisions of like why this or why not that, or you even start to like recognize trade-offs of like, oh, I had this in my mind, but turns out we're gonna go with this instead because there's certain constraints. For example, a lot of my films are not like what I want them to be because I get tired. And so I'm still like, but I'm like okay with that. Like I'm like, oh, I'm still building capacity, and like probably once certain parts of this whole process are easier to me, then I'll have more capacity to like work on other aspects and perfect those. But yeah, it actually like I think this is just something that's very natural to me, but it feels like it feels like more energy to stop myself from making things and doing creative projects than it is to make myself do them. Like some people, there's like this like phrase online where it's like you can just do things, and like yes, and for me it actually feels like the opposite, where it's like I need to remind myself like you can just not do things. But often like not doing things will make me unhappy. Like I will feel bad because making something makes me feel alive. And it's not always just making, it's like literally just producing anything. Cooking, or like climbing, like it feels like anything that is an expression of myself, almost, if I don't do that, then it feels like I'm actually starting to like slowly gray out, and my soul is becoming a little smaller and flatter. and I really dislike that sensation. And I might be more sensitive to it than others, but I'm known to like I'm the opposite of getting the person to get like stuck in a rut, because I actually have like a really low tolerance for that, and I get a little panicky when I sense that happening. It's like one of my fears. So yeah. I also think that there is a lot of joy. I find a lot of joy in experimentation, like the discovery phase of doing something, like poking at the world, right? Like I feel like everything that I put out there, even like tweeting, right? It's like a little poke at the universe, and the universe responds. And sometimes the universe has nothing to say at all. They're like ignored. This is like actually like very common. And other times it's like, wow, we really love what you did. We think that like this thing is so cool. And that like unpredictability I also find really fun. And yeah, I think I enjoy like embarking on the journey of doing things, and also doing it in a place where it's possible for others to sort of like respond to, because there is like a discovery, there's like an excitement in discovering what might happen through like the chemical reaction of something that I have been playing with, and other humans like discovering it and playing with it with me. Yeah, I'm going to stop there because I need to start cooking these onions, but until next time.